Hey everybody, FunshineX here. Welcome back to another Feed the Beast Beyond mod A to Z, where we cover every single mod in the Feed the Beast Beyond pack so that you are an expert. Today we are going to cover environmental tech. It's not a very big mod, but it's got a lot of cool stuff, and most of them are multi-blocks, and I love multi-blocks, right? They're a lot of cool stuff. Let's get right into it. We're going to start, as we always do, with just the decoration, the world gen. And I've got a lot of feedback. Some people say that my episodes are too long. I really want to cover everything, and I try and make it so you guys can skip around and you just find out what exactly you need to look at. But I'll try and make them a little shorter. The other comments I've been getting is don't show all the recipes. And I'll tell you why I do show some recipes. It's mainly because if you enter the Feed the Beast Beyond pack and maybe you're not familiar with the mod, you might not know where to start. And you know, it might not go, you think, well, I'm not going to get into that mod pack because it probably takes a lot of diamonds, or it takes a lot of, I have to go to the nether, kill the ender dragon, whatever. The reason I show the recipes is so you can go, oh wait, I only need sticks and stone and cobble to start this, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to cover every single recipe, but I do want to cover at least, you know, kind of what tier of stuff you need to do to get into the mod. All right, so decoration blocks, you're going to have hardened stone, basalt, alabaster, and lonsdaleite, something like that. They all come in a bunch of different flavors. You can see you've got stairs and half slabs and bricks and stones and all that kind of pavers and everything like that. The hardened stone you can craft. It's just cobble and stone mixed together. Really easy to make. The other three you cannot get from World Gen. You need to mine it using one of the multi-blocks we're going to see in a little bit. Enriched sand, on the other hand, you can get. That is just sand with nether quartz. Cook that up and you're going to get clear glass, which looks really nice. Does it? Yeah, it has connected textures, so it's really nice to use for big windows. The other thing you have is this mica block, which is really cool looking because it's kind of transparent, but you know, it's a full block there. And you can also not get that in World Gen. You have to mine it. There you go. So then you take all those three blocks that we showed, those first three, and you can make all the crafting stuff. So you start out with these machine bases, then you upgrade to tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And let me just really quick show you the how you get to those. So we got that guy, that guy, tier 4. Can we get all the way to the top? Oh yeah, we did. All right, so if you take hardened stone, all these recipes are the same. You're just going to substitute the middle block. Redstone and goldstone and iron. All you're going to need to go. So it's all just vanilla World Gen. Then to get to tier 1, again, gold and redstone. Tier 2, now you've got to take the tier 1 block and put some diamonds on it. So you're going to need a little bit harder to get to tier 2. Tier 3, you're going to have to visit the nether to get some glowstone dust and nether pearl, and the tier 2. So all this is kind of compounding in the recipe. And then finally, tier 4, you're going to have another star. And you're going to need a lot of these. So you're going to be killing the wither a ton of times to get into this block, the end game of this mod. All right? And that's why I show recipes. So you can go, okay, if I really want to get to the very end of this mod, I've got to kill the wither a bunch of times. I better plan for it. Got a bunch of other just building blocks. You can look at the recipe book and JEI for that, but you've got some solar panels, some lightning stuff, and your lasers, all right? Then you've got a bunch of these different filters. I'm going to skip over those for right now. Just know that they all exist. And then let's go look at these. These are kind of like your upgrades. You start out with just the regular modifier core. That thing's really easy to make with just iron, stone, glass. But then you get a bunch of different... let's call them upgrades. They're basically modifiers, but I'll say they're upgrades. And all those apply to the various multi-blocks we're going to make. So I'll cover them when they're actually needed. So let's get into the multi-blocks themselves. If you really want to get into the mod, you're going to want to make the digital guide, which is just a book and a piece of hardened stone. That's the one you have to get first. Some mod packs give you that one just to start. It's like a starter item. Then the next thing you want is the assembler. And you can see that one takes 2 obsidian and then an alabaster. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, this one we can do. So as soon as you get some redstone, diamonds, gold, you're good to make this assembler. You're going to need that. Yeah, trust me, you want it. All right, so the first multi-block we're going to cover, and all of these multi-blocks come in 4 tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and what's cool about them is they all upgrade on each other. So right here, you've got a tier 1 block. You can use that tier 1 block to make this tier 2 block, and this tier 2 to make this tier 3. So you're never wasting anything. Every edition uses all the stuff in the previous one and just adds some more. So I really like that. You should get the tier 1 as soon as you can. You don't have to wait up and say, well, I'm just going to wait until I get tier 4. No, get tier 1 first and then move up. It's very similar to Woot in that mechanic. All right, so this is the lightning rod. It generates power when lightning strikes it. So obviously you're not going to want to build it in the desert. Actually, can lightning strike in the desert? I think it can. It just can't rain, right? So when lightning strikes this thing, it's going to store power in the block at the bottom here, which is called the lightning rod controller. To build this thing, I'm in creative mode, so it's really cool. I can just get rid of it by right-clicking on it, and it's gone. All right, so you've built the rod controller. How do you know how to make the multi-block? Well, enter this little digital guide. You're gonna say, I want to build a lightning rod. I want to do tier 1. Here it is. It says when this thing gets a lightning strike, it's to generate 500,000 RF. That is pretty cool. It's kind of rare, but it's cool that you get that much RF for it. Here's the space required, and then it says you need 4 structure blocks, tier 1 or above. You can use the higher ones if you want to. 3 lightning rods, and then 4 insulated lightning rods. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to craft all that and get it in my inventory, right? Let's do that. So I'm just going to get some structure blocks, tier 1. Where are they? There we go. No, give me a bunch of them. Thank you. I want to get a bunch of lightning rods and insulated lightning rods. All right, so let's now go to survival. Come on, survival, please. There we go. Okay, I can take my assembler and left click on it, and it's going to again tell me exactly what I need. But if I hold down right click, you're going to see it's going to place the blocks for me. All right, and there it goes. It put everything down. If it didn't, I can go below it and keep doing it. Once it's done, it'll say assembly complete. And there you go, you've got the multi-block, and that works on all of them. You just get everything you need in your inventory, and you just kind of go underneath it and just right click on the block. It'll build the whole thing for you, as long as you have the right stuff. So that's cool. The lightning rod tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. If we go all the way up to tier 4, you're going to see that we are generating 32 million RF per strike. It's going to take a ton of structure blocks, lightning rods, and insulated lightning rods. And you can look at the recipes in NEI. But yeah, wow. It's really cool looking to put that on the top of a building or your base or something. I don't know, sticking out of the water. The only real requirement is that this tip, the very tip, can't have anything above it. You know, has to be able to see this guy, so like you can strike it, obviously. So that is pretty cool. This one does not have any upgrades, so it's just the things you see there. All right, let's move on to the next one, and that is your other power gen in this mod, which is your solar cell arrays. And you can see these things get massive, just huge. So the first one is a 3x3 array of solar panels, and then a 5x5 surround of basalt or tier 1 or higher structure blocks. And then you've got the actual panel here, the solar panel controller tier 1 all the way to tier 4. But here we've got these are actually wrong. Let's get this guy. Here, bam. Oh, hold on. Back to creative mode. All right, let's put that there. Nope, that's wrong. There we go. All right, get rid of it and build it again. I like creative mode. It's really nice for making a video like this because you just right-click on it and it makes it. Yeah, so you've got these modifier cores. Now, the only modifier that the solar panel can take is this one called the piezo modifier. And that one you can just replace any of the modifier cores with a piezo modifier. You don't have to do all of them, but every one that you do does give you a little bit of a bonus. And what is that bonus? Well, solar panels, as in many other mods, do not work in the rain, even if it's daytime. However, if you add the piezo mods, you don't lose everything. It's still not as much, but you do get some power still, even when it's raining. All right? So yeah, put those in there, and you get. I mean, they're cheap. Redstone and mica. You've obviously got to get mica, which we don't know how to get yet. But you might as well get those put in as soon as you have them. You can obviously just reuse them in the next tier. All right, now how much power are we talking about here? Well, tier 1, 648 RF a tick. That's pretty decent, especially since it's just unlimited free. There's no upkeep or anything. Just completely passive energy. 650 RF a tick. You can see the recipes. Now we go all the way up to tier 4, which is 46,000 RF a tick. It's a huge space, 11 by 11, with 81 solar cells. But that's a ton of power just to always be coming in, whether you need it or not. All right, and it's also got 8 modifier slots. So if you fill all those with piezos, you're going to get a ton of power even in the rain. All right, won't work in the dark. So yeah, just standard solar panel. All right, so next up we have 2 different kinds of laser drills. They're very similar to MFR's laser drill, and it has to be able to see bedrock. So you have to dig down all the way to bedrock, and then this block has to be able to see it. It's kind of like a beacon effect, and there's something weird about it where if you're not looking like up at it, it kind of goes away, which is kind of weird. That's just a graphical thing. You can see if I'm looking at it, you can still see it's going. All right, so what is this thing? We've got 2 different kinds. You've got the void ore miner and the void resource miner. Ore miner is just like it sounds. It's any kind of ore. Your golds, your coppers, your silvers, your leads, your uraniums, your Yellowstone? Yellorium, there we go. And then your resource is your sands, your gravels, your stones, your nether, my goodness. Nether brick, all that kind of stuff, just like the building blocks kind of things. So you can, depending on what you want, or build one of each, or two of each, 10 of each, whatever you can support with power, you'll get this. And so it kind of is a nice way to get a bunch of things. I know a lot of skyblocks use this to kind of use it, you know, be able to get ores, because you don't have to have the actual ore, you just have to be able to see the ground, or the bedrock, or the void, either one. All right, so how do we build this one? This one, as you know, the last two we've attacked from underneath. We've been down at the bottom, and we've built it above us. This one is a little bit opposite, and then you actually want to be, oops, above it and build downward. And you can see this one is four high, so you want to build like a 3 pillar of something and then put it on top and then get rid of that, so that it can build the stuff it needs. All right, so all these are just normal blocks. You can see how to craft them again. That's the block there. Now this is your special block, your lens. And that comes into those lenses over there. That determines what you're gonna get. If you use the normal clear lens, you're just gonna get a complete random whatever. The game will pick one from any mod, any ore in your mod pack, and give you one of those. And I think it's like every 20 seconds if you give it enough power at tier 1. So it's not the fastest thing, and you got to give it a lot of power, and it gives you random. Now, if you want to control what you get, you can use the lenses. And so let's just see, like the blue lens, if we put it in the void ore miner, we're going to get things like lapis and sapphires and hardened clay in the resource miner. That's about it. The brown lens gets you nothing. Don't use that one. Oh no, I sorry, I hit recipe on it. All right, so your purple lens gets you your lead and your zirconium. Your brown gets you your cinnabar and resonating in dirts, all that kind of stuff. So you can see the percentage. You know, normally if you use a clear, you get a 5% chance of dirt. If you use the brown lens, you get an 8% chance. So it gives you a little bit more, maybe like twice as much, not quite, chance of getting those items. All right. So if you're looking for things like mica and alabaster, which you need to progress in this mod, use a white lens. If you want something like basalt, use a black lens. And you get the, I didn't go over this landazolite powder, paver, or landazolite block. That one, you get these little shards when you mine. Where are the shards? I can't see them. There they are, at the very bottom. If you get 9 of them, you can make the block, and you get these from the ore miner. And if you put a black lens, obviously it's a higher percentage. So you use those, and one thing about these blocks, they cannot be blown up, even by the wither. Only players can remove them, can mine them. So you can make a bunch of these, trap a wither in it, and he can never get out. All right. So that's a really cool benefit of this mod is to mine that black stuff, the shards. All right, back to this. So that's how you use the lens to adjust what you get. As far as giving it power, I usually just take a flux. If you've got flux networks in your thing, get a flux plug somewhere and just get the flux point. And you can put it right on top or on the side. It just has to be touching the controller. So let's just get the creative power here. Thank you. And you can see now it should be working. Obviously, yeah, doesn't really tell you if it's working or not. But it does have power. It has a million RF buffer in it, and we can just go ahead and get like some kind of chest. You probably want a big chest because this is going to give you a lot of crap. And there we go. We got glowstone right out of the bat. We've never even been to the nether, right? And we created one of these. Cool. Glowstone. And you can see it's not very fast. It doesn't give you any little progress indicator of how fast it's working. It just makes stuff. And we're giving it tons of power, and it's only got 1. Now, what do we want to make it go faster? Well, unfortunately, for Tier 1, we can't. Tier 2, yeah, it goes a little bit faster, but look, we've got 4 upgrades. Well, you can do something with that and get the speed upgrade, right? Speed upgrades, redstone, gold, mica. There's that mica again. It's all we used a lot. And if we put the 4 speed upgrades in here, remember you can place them with anything, it'll now work a little bit faster. So we can put that there. There, and get the creative power. Put a chest there. And this is going to go a little bit faster. Not much, maybe. Oh, I don't think I've dug this one out. This one doesn't have a dug down to bedrock. Oh well. But you can see they get bigger and bigger, and the bigger you get, the more upgrade slots you get, and there, hence more speed modifiers you can put in them, until you finally get to the max one where you've got 12 upgrade or modifier slots for speed upgrades. Oops. I'll just put them all in just to see its max speed. Ah, there we go. All right, give this guy a lot of power. We're gonna look at that in a sec, how much he takes. And chest. There we go. Look how fast that is coming in. Oh my goodness, it's like a couple of seconds almost. We see we're getting zirconium, aluminum, redstone, cinnabar, everything. All right, we gotta stop that before it overflows the chest. Once you overflow the chest, it's gonna still keep using power. But yeah, it's not gonna give you any items. 26k RF? That seems low. Anyway. Let's look at the book just and let's see these. These are the void ore miners. Tier 1, come on, go to that one. Takes 400 ticks, so 20 seconds. 1,000,000 RF over those, no, that's the buffer. 320,000 RF over those 20 seconds. So you need to be generating, what, take the zeros off, 800 RF a tick to get this thing to go at full speed. There we go. And then as you go all the way up to the tier 4, you can see it's still, duration is 200 ticks, but you can get that down to 4 ticks with speed upgrades. So the higher tiers are not going to make it any faster unless you do speed upgrades. You have to put those in if you want to get fast. But what the higher tiers do offer you is a lot less energy cost per duration, per one ore. Because this only takes 40,000 RF, which is, you see, if we take those 2 zeros off, it's only about 50 RF a tick. At minimum, really, to generate an ore. And if you put speed upgrades, then you're just going to have to times that by 50. So it can go up fast, but you know it's still going to give you a lot of stuff for not too much power. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to probably skip over the resource miner. That is the exact same thing. They look identically. Remember, you know, you got to build from above. So that one's 3 tall. I think the tallest one is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we check here, it's probably going to just tell us. Oh, 7, and because it's including this block. So this thing, it needs to be on the 7th layer. All right, the last one. This is the beacon. The beacon is awesome. It's got some benefits. Again, let's just go ahead and remove a few things here. Am I in creative or not? Go away. There we go. All right, so let's get rid of it. You can see we only need to make 2 blocks underneath it, and then we can... Please put me in creative. Oh, I remember. This thing, because it has the ability to allow you to fly, it like messes with creative flight. So be careful building it if you're in creative mode, because it can actually turn off flight mode in creative. All right, so there we go. So it's 3 tall, including the block, and you've got 4 upgrades at the very beginning. Now, what the heck is this thing? Let's go look at it. The Nanobot Beacon is a multi-block machine that provides the player with effects through wireless nanobot technology. The effects only apply to the player that placed the Nanobot Beacon, and you have to build below the controller. Chunk load it if you want the effects. All right, so basically it's a beacon that works everywhere, in the Void, in the Nether, in the Ender, in RF Tools dimensions, anywhere. You just have to keep it chunk loaded. All right, so you put that down, and now you've got the 4 upgrades, and you come over here, or we don't come over here, but you build which 4 you want. Now here's the options you have. Resistance, fire resistance, that's cool. Jump boost, resistance, so that's just like the golden apple effect. Saturation, so this will keep you fed. Regen, water breathing, strength, haste, night vision, and flight, and don't worry about accuracy. We gotta come back to that one. All accuracy does is it makes your color lenses work better. So they like, you know, if you got like a twice as much chance of getting something, they would give even more if you put accuracy upgrades in there. So if you really, really want just one thing, pick the lens that'll get that and just give a ton of accuracy modifiers. All right, and then you'll get exactly what you want. So let's the first one had 4 upgrades. Let's pick a good 4 that we want. I'm going to say flight. That one's probably a gimme. So that one was down here. There we go. So we'll take flight. Let's see. Let's see. If we're not fighting, we don't really need strength. If we're mining, let's go for some haste. Let's get saturation so we don't have to feed. And if we have saturation, we'll naturally get regen just through natural regen. So we don't really need the regen block. And then maybe, I don't know, night vision? Yeah, that sounds good. There's my basic first 4. And we're just going to replace these blocks with them. And some of them can give you better benefits. Oh, I just broke a block. What goes there? Probably one of these. There we go. Like if you want like strength 2, you could put 2 strengths in there, I think. Alright, so there's our 4. We need to give it power, and if this ever runs out of power, obviously it's going to stop giving you the effect. And if it ever gets unchunk loaded, you'll lose the effects as well. Let's go into survival, and we should see some night vision and haste appear. What was the other one? Oh, saturation. You can see my health bar is saturated, so it'll keep me full. And yeah. The coolest thing about it is I'm in survival right now. Watch this. Creative flight. It's not just normal flight. This is creative flight where you can stop and hover. And yeah, this is amazing. It takes a lot of RF to do, but for flight, I mean, just put only flight in there if really that's all you want. And you've got a flying machine that you've built for not that much power and not that much material. Really cool. Now, is this very hard to build? Mica, you're gonna need mica. You're gonna need 4 launchers. Piece of cake to build, as long as you've got enough mica. So yeah, get one of these, get mica for you quickly, and then build one of these so you can fly. That's what I'm gonna do in the next episode of my Feed the Beast Beyond, or at least in an upcoming episode, in your guys' sense. Then they just build from it in these cool pyramid shapes. So you've got 8 upgrades here, 12, and finally 16 upgrades. Good luck even finding enough modifiers to put in this thing. Like 16 is way overkill. You would have every single buff like doubled. But that's awesome. Alright, there's a couple other minor little things, like, let's go back to environmental. There's this little thing called a launcher. You give it power, and you go up, and you click on it. Oh. And you're going to say, do I need a redstone velocity or redstone signal? No, I don't. Do I want to add velocity or set velocity? I'd like to add it, whatever. Sure. And let's just give us some Y, so we go up in the air. And you can't, oh, there we go. If you shift click it, it goes up by 1. That's 10 is the highest. Woo! So with 10, oh yeah, good luck. How high did we go? We went up, coordinates 307. 307. So if you want to be able to launch yourself like an elytra launcher, if you use elytra, this thing is the way to go. My goodness, that thing launches you way high. And if you want to use it to like fly that way 1,000 blocks, like, actually I don't know which way is X. We'll see, I guess. Woo! I should have turned the Y off. And we can see through the ground, maybe at some point. Look how far we went. Wow. Right now we're at X 192. Let's see how far we flew. At least 100 blocks. Oh no, we went that way. There we go. Just under 100 blocks in that direction. That is sweet, guys. Okay. And then any other things? No, just crafting stuff. So I'm not going to worry about that. Hope you guys like this mod. I think it's really cool. It's got a lot of cool multi-blocks. I love multi-block structures because they don't have GUIs. You just need to build them, and you can control how they work. You know, it's like not everybody's going to build the same one. You like tailor it to how you want it to look and how you want it to act. Awesome. So hopefully you guys are now an expert at environmental tech. Make sure you're building these things and getting the cool benefits from them. You've got, again, 2 sources of power gen, 2 sources of resource gathering, and then just a cool buff mechanic, and then a launcher. And then some cool decoration blocks. Guys, it's been Funshine X. I kept it under 30 minutes. Didn't show all the recipes, so you got to give it a thumbs up for that. I listened to your guys' comments. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, the Feed the Beast Beyond A to Z, where you are now an expert at the Feed the Beast Beyond mod pack. Catch you later.